Okay, hi friends, welcome back. Today we're going to do a little bit with plot. We've been talking about plot this week. We talked about plot with the little engine that could. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a folk tale. And a folk tale tells a story, and it often teaches a lesson. We've read some folk tales in school this year. And a folktale has some parts that are real and some parts that are make-believe. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to go into your copybook, and I'm going to ask you to open, not your copybook, oh my goodness, into your Skills Buddy book, and I'm going to ask you to open up to page 90. Okay? Go ahead and open up to page 90. If you need to pause for a second, go right ahead. And then just turn me back on. A lot of you have said that. You've been like, Mrs. Rooney, I pause you, and then I go and do it, and then I come back. That's exactly what I want you to do. Pause me whenever you need to. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I'm not moving. All right, today what we're going to do is we're going to read a folk tale called The Queen of the Forest. And you have it in your Skills Buddy, so I want you to follow along as I read. And I want you to listen. And while you're listening to it, I want you to be thinking about the plot of the story. Remember, we've talked about the plot of the story. It's what happens at the beginning, middle, and end of the story. Okay, and in the beginning, we find out who the characters are, we find out the setting, we find out what's going on. In the middle of the story, remember our plot mountain, we find out what the problem is, what's going to happen, what's the problem, what do the characters have to deal with. And at the end of the story, when we get to the conclusion on Plot Mountain, remember it was all about how did they solve the problem and what happened in the end of the story, okay? All right, so I want you to listen to The Queen of the Forest, which is a folk tale, like I said, and I want you to be listening for what happens in the beginning, middle, and end of the story. But I also want you to see if you can think about what the lesson is. What was the lesson that we learned from this folk tale? And also be thinking about what are the make-believe parts of this folk tale and what are the real parts, okay? So you have a lot to do to be listening. All right, The Queen of the Forest. Long, long ago, in a forest in China, there lived a mighty tiger. All the other animals would flee, that means they would run really fast, in terror at the mere mention, that means even hearing her name. She was Queen of the Forest. One day, a fox was trotting through the forest when the tiger leaped out and grabbed her. Fox had to think of something quick. "How dare you attack me," Fox declared. "I am Queen of the Forest." Well, Tiger was amazed. "Nonsense," she sputtered. "You are not queen." "Yes, I am," said Fox calmly. "All the other animals flee in terror when they see me. I'll show you. Just follow me." Fox walked into the forest with Tiger close behind her. They came upon a herd of deer. When the deer saw Tiger behind Fox, they ran away. Fox and Tiger came upon a flock of birds. When the birds saw Tiger behind Fox, they flew away. Fox and Tiger came upon a group of monkeys. When the monkeys saw Tiger behind Fox, they scampered, that means they ran, away. Fox said to Tiger, "See how the animals run away? Now do you believe that I am Queen of the Forest?" "Yes, now that I have seen it with my own eyes, I do believe you are queen." And Tiger bowed low to Fox and then walks off into the forest. As soon as Tiger was out of sight, Fox ran away as fast as she could. All right, so a folktale tells a story. What happens in the beginning, middle, and end of the Queen of the Forest? Well, in the beginning, what happens? Let's look back at our pictures. What happens in the beginning of our story? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, very good. Fox is getting attacked by Tiger, right? Okay, so that's happening at the beginning of the story. What happens in the middle of the story? What does Fox tell Tiger? Right? Fox says, "I'm Queen of the Forest," and Tiger says, "You are?" And Fox says what? "Yeah, come along, follow me, I'll show you." What happens at the end of the story? What happens after that, in the middle of the story? Very good. Fox tricks Tiger into believing that she's queen of the forest. Let's take a look. Why do you think the birds and the monkeys are flying away? And the deer, why do you think they're all running away? Look at that picture. All right, so here's Fox. Who's behind Fox? Tiger is. Do you think that the deer, the monkey, and the birds are really afraid of Fox? Who do you think they're really afraid of? They're afraid of Tiger, right? Tiger's behind Fox. Very good. At the end of the story, what happens? The fox runs away, right? Because he's tricked the tiger into believing it. The tiger said, well, I see with my own eyes that they're all running away. What Tiger doesn't realize is the reason they're all running away is because the tiger is behind the fox. They're all afraid of the tiger. They're not afraid of the fox. But the fox figured out how to trick the tiger into believing that he was queen of the forest, or she was queen of the forest, okay? So now we said a folk tale often teaches a lesson. What lesson did we learn? Well, the fox got attacked by Tiger, right? And was probably what was going to happen? Right, Tiger was probably going to eat him. Fox figured that out. But she figured out that she had to think of something very quickly in order to make sure that that didn't happen. So, did she come up with a plan? Yes, she did. That's right. She took Tiger along with her. But she made sure Tiger followed behind her so that when they came upon all these different animals, the animals, sure, they were seeing Fox, but who were they really seeing? They were seeing the tiger. Very good. They were seeing the tiger behind the fox. That's who they were really afraid of. So the lesson learned is sometimes being clever, like the fox, can help us solve our problems, right? So the fox was pretty clever to think of that pretty quickly to say, if I have the tiger right behind me, the animals are all going to see the tiger and they're going to be afraid of that. But the tiger didn't realize that's what the fox was doing. So the fox's cleverness helped her solve the problem of being attacked by the tiger. And so in the end, she was able to run away. And now the tiger thinks the fox is queen of the forest. Okay? Now, a folktale has some real parts and some make-believe parts. What parts of this story are probably real? Okay, let's think about the tiger. Are tigers strong? Yep, tigers are strong. And how did the other animals react when they saw the tiger? They ran away, right? So what do we know about animals? Most animals are afraid of tigers. Okay, so those are real things that happened in the story. What parts are make-believe? Okay, were the fox and the tiger talking? Yes, they were. Do real animals talk? No, they do not. Okay, so in a folk tale, we often learn a lesson, and we did. Cleverness can help you solve your problems. And there's also real parts and make-believe parts. And we've said the real parts were tigers are strong, animals are afraid of tigers, and that happened in the story. But we also said there was the make-believe part to a folk tale, and that make-believe part was that the tiger and the fox were talking to each other like people, and we know that real animals don't do that, okay? All right, so I loved sharing the Queen of the Forest with you because it's one of my favorite folk tales that we read. Now what we're going to do is, since we talked about the plot and that, we're going to go back to and finish up our project of The Little Engine That Could. We started earlier this week with a great writing project. We talked about the little engine. And the first part we talked about was what happened at the beginning of the story. And we said that the train breaks down, right? You wrote that, okay? Then yesterday we talked about, so that's the introduction. That's the beginning of the story. That's the beginning of Plot Mountain, right? We get up to the top of Plot Mountain and we find out, what is the problem? Well, the problem was the engines do not help, right? They would not help the toys. Very good. Today, what we're going to do is we are going to finish up our writing story, okay? So I'm going to bring mine a little bit closer so you can see it, okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to write about what happens at the end of the story. And what happened at the end of the story? Very good. The little engine helped the toys, right? So let's go ahead and write that together. Right? T-H-E, the, and little's one of our sight words, L-I-T-T-L-E, the little engine, right? I'm going to spell it out, E-N-G-I-N-E, the little engine. Now let's write the word helps. H-E-L-P, help. Okay, what sound do we write first for that? What letter do we write for that first sound? Very good. H, what's the next sound? E. Very good. E, O. Very good. L, and what's the last sound? L. Very good. But I want to say helps. The little engine helps. So what do I have to add? Very good, an S. The little engine helps, and then I want to write the word the again. The toys. What's that first sound? T, t. Very good. T-O-Y. And I have more than one, so I have to add an S. So the little engine helps the toys. Okay? All right. If you need to pause that, go right ahead. But I'm going to show you what you're going to do. Now what you're going to do is you also, when I sent out the writing, you also got your front engine. Okay, you got your front engine. So what you're going to do today is you're going to finish writing the conclusion, finally what happened at the end of the story. And we just wrote, the little engine helps the toys, right? You are going to cut out your train cars. Okay, you're going to cut out your train cars. And you are going to make your own train. And I'm going to hold it up. It keeps falling down on me here because I don't have my board. But you're going to make your own train of the little engine that could, that has the plot in it. What happened first? The train breaks down. What happened in the middle? What was the problem? The engines do not help. And what was the conclusion? The little engine helps the toys, okay? And then you can cut it out and you can put it all together, and then you have your plot train, okay? All right, friends, great job this week writing. Great job making your train. I hope you enjoy making your train. If you want to send me pictures of your train, I would love to see your train. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.